So since internet is connected, it will take some time actually. Tabs to open first time, because like pages will get uploaded, those news or something. Okay. So you have to use an option, use built-in setup.
Okay.
So display unit, as I said, I had to set it to metric system. For this, go for metric SI.
Okay.
So here concrete code is there. Concrete code we use. So we need to choose 456 2000, and the steel design code is IS 800 2007. Okay. So one more thing is there, that is steel section database.
Okay.
So
What
steel
is
section
that?
database means like a steel table, what you referred in 7th or 8th
Okay.
sem.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
so we are taking it from the Indian code. So choose it as Indian steel table.
Okay.
So metric is, so the first stage is go to use built-in setup with display unit SI, steel database Indian, steel design code IS 800 2007, concrete design 456 2000.
Okay.
Okay, if you are doing for something, some other countries, like it may be different.
Okay.
So if you are doing for American country, it will be AISC. If you are doing it for British, BS something.
Okay.
So you should know that if you are planning to go for any some other countries, you should know that which code they are using. That is which country you are particularly going, and that you should know that this also, what which country you are going, as well as which code they are going to use there. Okay.
Okay.
If you take Saudi Arabia or something, they will be using this British code.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Most of the Gulf countries use British code, right?
Most of this one they use British code only. So for that you have to choose BS.
All right.
Modeling, all the steps will be same. At the time of design, it changes to, we have to change this one to like British standard.
Okay. Okay.
And click on OK. Okay. So next we have to set the story dimension as well as the plan setting. So as you can see from my diagram here, so this is my stories. On the left side you can see the story. One second. So left side you can see the stories. It is not getting rubbed at all. Okay. So on the right side there is a story. This one is the story dimension I had to give. The story dimension is okay. So first it will ask you how many stories are there. So I need to count how many stories are there. This is 1, 2, 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
So it is like number of level it is asked. It is not asking number of story. Actually it is ask you number of levels.
Okay. Okay.
How many levels are there? First, that is plinth level. Then after first story, second floor, like this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now I need to set the number of stories as 4. Number of story
Oh.
is equal to 4. Okay. Next one. Next it will ask. These are called typical floor. So this it will call as typical. This is typical. This is also called typical. Typical means generally it is the height will be same.
Okay.
The height of those this one will be same.
Those floors are the same.
In general it will be same. So next it will ask you typical story height. Typical story height is 3 meters. So typical story height is 3 meter. Next it will ask you, this is a bottom story. What it is, you can see this here, bottom story. So this is my bottom story. So it will ask you the what is the bottom story height. So the bottom story height is equal to 2 meters. So you need to set. So first thing is go to story dimension, set the number of stories as 4, and next typical story height is equal to 3 meter, bottom story height is equal to 2 meter. Understood? No, this one.
What?
Understood? No, this one. This part.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just input this in etabs. So here number of stories are 4. So this is a story dimension. So go to the, it is a simple data like it is a height is same. I am going for simple story data. Number of stories are 4. Typical story height is 3 meter. Bottom story height is 2 meter.
2 meter.
2 meter. Okay. So next I need to set this grid system. So this is related to the story, that is elevation. Next I need to set it to the plan here on the left side.
Okay.
So if I come to the plan, this is my first point. So this is my x1. Next this is x2, x3, x4, x5. So there are 5 lines in x direction. There are, like, you can remember how many joints are there. There are 5 lines, that is 5 joints there are in x direction. Similarly here y1, y2, y3 and y4, y3 and lastly this y4. Okay. So next regarding the plan, what I had to give in number of lines in x directions are 5. In number of lines in y direction is 4. Okay, and it is spaced by 4 meter in x direction.
Okay.
In x direction it is spaced by 4 meter each. Similarly in y direction it is spaced by 3 meter. So that I had to give it as input there. Okay. So number of grid lines in y directions are 5. Next, number of grid line in number of grid line in what I written in x direction is 5 and in y direction it is 4.
4.
In x direction there are 5 lines, in y direction there are 4 lines. Spacing in x direction is, it is spaced by
4 meter.
4 meter, and in y direction it is spaced by 3 meters.
3 meter.
Okay, and click on OK. Understood? No, this step.
Yeah.
So this step will be like the right side will be the right part, that is simple story data. It is about setting the elevation. Left side is about planning. Okay, understood? No?
Yeah.
Okay, we will move forward then. So there are 2 windows now. One is plan view window, another one is 3D view window. So one is plan, next one is 3D view window. So that so before constructing that building or something, first things what I need to know is like which material is available. That is whether the concrete is available, steel material is available, and what is its grade. Those things are required. Okay. So my first step, next step would be like just wait for a while. Okay. So I need to define, next thing is I need to define the material, what material it is going to be made up of. The structure I had to construct, so for that material need to be defined. Okay. So for this I will using the material So I will use the material concrete. I have to define the material concrete and also its grade. So grade is say M25.
Okay.
So grade I am using the material concrete grade M25, as well as I also need a rebar, that is inside that one, inside that concrete I need a steel. So this is my if you take, this is my beam in this one. So these are this is your steel bar, these are called rebars. So next what I need to define is, after defining concrete and grade of M25, next I need to define the rebar. Rebar and its grade is also required. Its grade is, so generally now 500 grade is available.
415. Okay, 515.
Now nowadays 500 is available. If you want you can do it 415 also. If it is available you can use.
Okay.
You can use 500, or if you want you can also use 415, but previous one 250 is not in this one right now, it is not available. So you can define 500 as well as 415. Okay, so the next step is to define the material. So next step is to define the material. To define the material, go to define. Here there is option called material properties.
Alright.
Okay, so I'll do once again. Go to define material properties.
Material property.
Okay, here inbuilt 4 things are there. These are as per the American code. I don't want this one, so I'll go for add new.
Add new material.
Okay, add new material. So once again we had to choose the same, like Indian standard or something. So region is India. So and next one is, here material type is concrete. So standard is Indian again, and this grade is M25.
Grade is M25.
Okay, so I have defined the M20 concrete now, M25 concrete. So just give this okay. We'll see. I'll tell you about, discuss about this one later. Okay. Next, I need to define the rebar. Go for defining the rebar. Go to add new material. So in this one material type, change this one to rebar.
Okay, rebar.
Rebar. Next, it will choose. It will give you option. I want 415 also. Okay, I also want 500 grade also. So use this 500 grade also. Define the 415 as well as 500 also. That is the first step is after defining the after giving units, and next after setting the what grids and all those things. The next step is defining the material. So you need to define M20 concrete, M25 concrete, 415 as well as 500 grade rebar. Okay. So once it is done, so these things cannot be deleted. You can delete this one. These are inbuilt things are there. It will not go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So next step is I need to define the cross-sectional property. I define the what is the material it is made up of. Next thing will be I need to define the cross-sectional property. Okay, first I will take the slab. Slab generally it is made up of 5 inches, 5 inches or 6 inches. Slab thickness generally it will be like 5 inches or 6 inches. Or if you convert in meter, it is approximately, if you convert in mm, it is nothing but it is equal to approximately you will get 130 mm. 5 inches is nothing but 130 mm and 6 inches is nothing but 150 mm. Okay, so generally they use 5 inches or 6 inches. Sometimes they also use 4 inch also. 4 inch means 100.
Okay.
4 inch means 100, but generally some people they directly go for 5 inches. Okay, so the next stage is I am going to define the slab which is made up of 130 mm thick. I am going to define the slab of 130 mm thick. So this will be made up of, it is made up of concrete M25. M25 grade concrete it is made up of. So I need to define the slab of. So what are the things I need to define is I need to define the slab which and its thickness I had to mention it as 130 mm. Okay, next it will also ask you that in modeling type it will ask something. Modeling type you have to choose it as membrane.
Okay.
So membrane, there are two things in the this one slab. So there are two slabs are there. It is like this. This is one slab, and this is one more slab like this. Okay. So from this one, it is clear that this slab thickness is lesser. This slab thickness is less. This thickness is small.
Yeah.
Just like a paper type of element. So when you apply the load, when you apply the load, all the load will get transferred to beam. Or other words, what I can tell is for this thin, this one are called like we can call it as like stiffness of the slab is negligible.
Okay.
It's negligible. Okay, but in this case, if you consider this one, the thickness is very large. So the thickness is very large to such an extent that it cannot be neglected. That is like you consider two person. One is a weak person. One more is one is gone to gym or something. He has built up strong muscles. Like very his bone density is very high. So the one who is weak, he cannot take the more load, but one who is strong in terms of, not in terms of fat actually, in terms of his bone strength, he can lift more kgs something. So same thing is applicable if you consider a normal person who is not having who is not built with something like who is not built with what his muscles are not that much stronger. It can be considered as membrane. The thickness of the slab, if it is very less, the stiffness of that slab can be neglected.
Okay.
That is, he cannot take that much of load. Okay, there is one more category here. This is a one more category. So one more category is like the thickness is very high. Because of this one, it cannot be bent easily. So membrane means just like a paper, it will bend soon after applying the load.
Okay.
It will not take any load at all. But if you consider something plywood or something, if you apply some load on a plywood something, it will resist the load because it has got some thickness.
Okay.
So in this case, the stiffness is accounted. The stiffness is accounted. So in the if the thickness of the slab is more, the stiffness can be accounted.
Okay.
So if it is less, we can consider it as like membrane. Understood, no, this one?
Yeah.
And this one we can model it as shell thin. This one, right side, what I am doing, this one, you can model it as a shell thin. So shell thin, and it is used for slab depth approximately greater than 200 mm.
Okay.
When the slab depth, if you are using the depth greater than 200 mm, you can make it as shell thin.
All right.
Shell thin is used when the slab depth is exceeding the 200 mm. Within that one, we can model it using the option membrane. So now I will define the slab. So to define the slab, go to define. Here you have to go for sectional property. In this one, slab section.
That section.
Okay. So again, two inbuilt things are there. I don't want to use this. Go for add new property. Okay, here name it as, so a slab I am naming slab 130 mm thick. Okay, and it is made up of M25 concrete.
Okay.
And so since my thickness is lesser than 200, I can model it using the option called membrane.
Okay.
And next in the bottom I had to give the type as it is a slab type, and next here I had to choose thickness. I had to write the thickness as 130 mm.
Okay.
So this is just a property name, you can name anything.
Yeah, I got it.
Giving this is the important thing. Giving the thickness at the bottom on the right on the bottom side is more important than writing it on title.
Okay.
Understood no this one?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so this is how we define the slab. So next we will go for defining the beam as well as column. So we will go for defining and beam as well as column. So if you consider a beam, so I'll take one beam, so which is made up of 200 mm width and depth is 300 mm. Depth is 300 mm. So next it is okay. So this is my main bar, then on the bottom it is the main bar. This is my main reinforcement. And it is made up of HYSD 500 grade. So this is my main reinforcement, it will be made up of HYSD 500 grade, and these are called ties, also called some stirrups also we call, or one more name is confinement bar. Okay, so for this confinement or ties or this one I will use HYSD 415. So what I need to do is I need to define beam which is made up of M25 concrete. Its width is 200 mm, depth is 300 mm, and if you come to this reinforcement option, so the main reinforcement is made up of HYSD 500 grade, and this stirrup or ties are made up of HYSD 415. Okay. This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go for defining the beam. So in order to define the beam, I had to go for option called define. In this sectional property, click on this frame section.
Okay.
So you can do it by two methods. Already they have here given concrete beam, that itself we can modify, or you can start it from the add new, whichever you want you can choose. I will use this concrete beam and modify. Okay, so property name is, I will name it as B200 into 300. It is made up of M25 concrete, depth is 300, width is 200. Okay, Also, I gave you information regarding this one. I also told that main reinforcement will be made up of 500 grade and stirrup will be made up of 415 grade. So I need to choose this one. I need to give that information, means go to reinforcement, modify show rebar. So here come to the right side, rebar material, longitudinal bars are made up of 500 grade, that is main steel, and this is related to the stirrup. Choose it as 415.
Okay.
Okay. So next we have to give to concrete cover to longitudinal group centroid.
Okay. 40 mm.
So it is given 60 mm. Now I need to change that. Actually, it is not correct by default.
Okay.
So next the software is asking you what is the distance from here to here.
Okay.
So that is from here to here, what is the spacing from that outermost fiber to the center of the top bar. So what is that distance we have to give, as well as it is also asking you from the bottom, from the bottom fiber to the middle of the beam, middle of that rod what I am showing. Okay. So if you take this diagram, it will be consisting of, first it is consisting of, here there is a cover here. So that cover is generally 25 mm.
Okay.
So first it is 25 mm cover is there.
Okay.
Next below this one there is a stirrup. Dark what I shown, this is a stirrup. So 8 mm stirrup. 8 mm stirrup, 8 mm dia stirrup is there. Next I am assuming it here. Here it is made up of, this main diameter is made up of say 20 mm, and the bottom one it is made up of 16 mm. Okay. Now to the center of this one, the that is the software is asking you cover to longitudinal group centroid. So that cover to longitudinal group centroid for a top is given by, there is a 25 mm cover plus 8 mm stirrup plus 20 mm bar divided by 2. 20 mm bar divided by 2, if you calculate this one, it will come as 43 mm. So it will come it as 43 mm. Okay. Similarly for the bottom also is the same things, but the diameter is 16. So for bottom there is a 25 mm cover again, and there is a stirrup of 8 mm diameter, plus there is a 16 mm bar, 16 divided by 2, so it will become 41. If you calculate this one, the value will be 41.
Okay.
So this I had to give for that is from distance from the top fiber to the center of this top bar is 43 mm, and similarly from the bottom, for the bottom distance from the bottom fiber to the center of the bottom main bar what you have given. Okay. So here mention the cover to longitudinal group centroid. At the top it is 43 and for bottom it is 41.
41.
And click on this OK. So we have defined the beam now.
Okay.
So next step is I need to define the column.
Okay.
So my column width is 200 mm and the depth is 450 mm. Okay, and Okay, we will and it is made up of again that M25 concrete. So first I need to define the depth, width as 300, depth as 450, that I have to define. So to define this one, go to again the define sectional property, frame section again. So here already there is a concrete COL it is showing, that itself you can modify.
Okay.
So go to concrete COL, modify. So column size is 200 into 450.
Alright.
Material is, it is made up of M25, depth is 450, width is 200. Understood, no? Okay, so next I had to give the information regarding the reinforcement. How many bars are there, all this time I had to give you. So here this depth is called, so this is depth is called, okay, one second, just one second. So this is my column, so this is my column reinforcement. We can see here so this is my third direction. So no, sorry, it's a second direction. Okay, we'll use different color. So second direction. So it will ask you how many number of bars are there in second direction. So if you count this one, this is one bar, second bar, third bar.
Third bar.
So there are, so I had to mention it as in second direction there are 3 bars are there. Okay. Next it will ask you how many bars are there in third direction. This width is called third direction. So if you see this in third direction, 1 and 2. So in third direction, I have, so in third direction I have 2 bars. In third direction I have 2 bars, that I have to mention there. So for this, and again the same thing, this time again that longitudinal bars are made up of HYSD 500 grade, and this ties are made up of HYSD 415. Okay, now I need to define these things. So for this we have already defined this beam to column 200 into 450. Next I have to give the information regarding this reinforcement. So for this, in this reinforcement, click on this modify show rebar. Okay, here choose it as longitudinal bar. It is made up of 500 grade. Stirrups are made up of 415 grade. Okay, next it is asking you cover for column is 40 mm. It is correct already. Next, number of bars in third direction, second direction it is asking. In third direction we have 1, 2. In third direction, if you see this one, this is 1, this is 2. In second direction we have 1, 2, 3. In third direction there are 2 bars. In third direction, in second direction there are 3 bars. So number of longitudinal bars along third direction is 2. Along second face it is 3. Okay. Next it is asking you what is the longitudinal longitudinal and corner bar. This is my corner bar which I shown here. This is my corner. So for corner I will use say 25 mm bar. So for corner I will use 25 mm, and these are called general, just longitudinal. These inside things are called longitudinal bars, and it is made up of say 12 mm bar. Okay, next I had to give corner diameter is 25. Corner diameter is made up of 25. Longitudinal reinforcement, it is made up of 12 mm. So longitudinal bar size is 25 mm. Corner bar size is 12 mm. Okay. So now if you see this diagram, if you give it OK, you can see the pattern here. So I just made small mistake. The longitudinal is 12 mm, corner is 25. You can see here corner it is increased. Here it is lesser. It is 12 mm. So in this manner we can define the how much the reinforcement are coming. Understood? No, this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So next I have to give the information regarding the ties. So the next step is to give the information regarding the ties. So if you consider column, this is my column. So these are your ties. So I have to give the diameter of this tie first. So diameter of ties is minimum, we use 8 mm nowadays. Okay, so diameter of ties is, give it as 8 mm. So next it will ask you what is the spacing between these ties. Spacing between ties, approximately we can consider it as 180 mm. I will tell you why it is 180 later stage. So spacing between ties is 180 mm. And next it will ask you, so I had this one, like this type of reinforcement there. It is asking you how many links are there. So this is my second direction. So in second direction, to connect this properly, so we have given first there is one link here. Next we have to give some extra link here, that is 2. Next one at the edge, there is one more link, 3. Okay. Now similarly in the third direction, this is one ring, this is first leg, this is second leg. Understood? No? To hold that 6 bars, I need to connect in the 4 corner like this. So in second direction there is a one link, that is one leg, second leg, third leg. Similarly in the third direction we have I don't have 3 bars here, so I just need this outside link 1 and 2. So I had to give next I had to give diameter of tie is 8 mm. Spacing between ties is 180 mm. And next I had to give number of bars in that is depth direction, that is second direction it is 3, and in number of bars in third direction, that is width, it is equal to 2. So this information I had to give. So now confinement bars, confinement is also called stirrup. Confinement bar is made up of 8 mm bar.
8 mm.
Okay, and longitudinal spacing between this one, it is made up of 180 mm. Number of confinement bar in third direction. In third direction, that is this is 1 and 2. In third direction we have two legs. In second direction we have 3 legs, and click on this OK. Okay, you come to know what is the procedure for all these things. Okay. I will go to some other setting before you going for a draw. I will tell about the some other settings. So if you see the font size here, it is very small. The font size is very small, and it is also like it is not properly visible. What you can do is, one step is you can go for this. You can close this window on the right side 3D so that it will become enlarged bit. So this bubble size look like enlarged, but this font size still it is lesser only.
Yeah.
So for this, what I need to increase the font for this one. So how to control the font size means, that is I want to increase the font. How to increase the font? So if it is not opening, not visible properly, go to options. In this one, go to options. Here there is options, graphics preferences. Options, in that graphics preferences, and next there will be a font size somewhere will be there, that we have to adjust. So go to options, graphics preferences. Here we can see here maximum font size, maximum graphic font size, you make it as 10 or 12. So in order to print our report, we are using that 12 mm. We can use say 11. So maximum font size you can take it as 11. Font size 11. Okay. So I will set this one, and you can see this. So now it is smaller only. I had to change means, go to options, graphics preference. So here you make it as 11. Now you see the difference. It is enlarged. Okay. So if it is like that, so because of that small objects, I may get strained because of that one I told. Okay. One more thing is, you can regarding the background color. So if I don't want the background color like white, because white generally, what is the drawback of using white color is, it emits more light. It emits more light. Generally we have like we may have a problem with visual something. So and also it will consume more power. It will consume more power. So that's what I can if I want a black screen, that how to do it, black screen. So black screen is like power saving as well as it will reduce the strain on the eyes also. So power saving, this is a power saving it, and also it reduces the eye strain. If you want to change, you can change that color to white, black also. So for this, go to options. Here there is options called graphics preferences. Okay, sorry. Here go to options. Here there is called graphics color. Sorry. In this one, go for display. So here screen is white background, change this one to black background. Now it changes to black. So if I want to come back, go to options, graphics color, display, change this one to white background again. So whichever it looks better, whichever you are comfortable, that you can use. So generally most of the people, they use prefer black only. I too prefer black only, because light it will be a power saving mode, as well as the light what it is emitting will be less. Okay. We'll do this remaining thing in next class. Okay. Okay. So I'll share you this.
What time? Tomorrow. Yeah. So tomorrow then it will be at around
4:15. 4:15 maximum. I will take it at 4:30. In case if I make some delay, 4:30 is my last time. Okay. So we'll end up this one today. and I will share you the link of this video. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.